we all know how Dad kept his life on his skin with tattoos, yeah. I'm not sure which side of his neck it was on, but it was on his neck, which, there were a lot of things on his neck, but it's the story of the arrow tattoos, and there it is. I don't know how old I was, but I was small, and he was living in an empty building downtown. I don't know if he was squatting there or if he was paying, but I didn't really give a shit because he was giving me like half Red Bulls and... Alright, whatever. No, but every weekend I'd go down there and he would, over the week he would save up like a bunch of fake tattoos. So it was, yeah, we would do those on the weekend, but I'd go over to his house, we'd run to the gas station, we would get Lucky Charms, as much candy as we could carry, and Red Bull. Red Bull for your 6-year-old. And he mostly did it to just like piss Mom off, but you know, it's fine. No, but then we'd go back and we'd cover my neck and whole body in fake tattoos. So when I went to basically Buddhist church, I'd be covered in tattoos and like high on Red Bull and like no, but he brought a pack of fake tattoos and it had 3 black arrows and one was facing this way and one was facing this way and one was facing this way. I was like, I don't fucking like the middle one. I want to flip it around. So we flipped it around and we put it on my neck, and then like the next weekend he got it, and I don't know how he came up with the money to get it, but he did. But yeah, that's the story, and then I have some more stuff to say, so... Yeah. I think I said that. I think it was like, because I want them all moving forward. I don't know. I was 6, I don't remember. No, but I have more stuff to say, so you're gonna have to endure it. I knew my dad as well as any of you. He was one of my best friends. I loved him with every piece of my heart. I knew his demons by name, how he got him, the motherfucker that gave it to him, his dad, or whatever. But he told me every story, every person he had met, and like, there's a part of him in every one of you, and you're all invited to my graduation since he can't be there, so. And my wedding, and I'm gonna tell you which college I got into, and I'm gonna like gush to you about like what the gossip at school is or something, because like you're all my dad now, so deal with it. Get ready to be annoyed. No, but I'm gonna miss the motherfucker, and you, God knows when I die and I see him wherever he is, I'm gonna kick him in the teeth, and then I'm gonna hug him, and then I'm gonna tell him about graduation and who I married and the dogs I got or whatever is gonna come for me in this lifetime. But yeah, fuck you, I love you, piece of shit.
I know there's more stories in this crowd. Who's gonna go out there and tell them to me?
Jump up there. I'll go with you. The most important thing Joe ever told me was, you'll be just fine, just don't shit yourself.
Alright, I'm not gonna tell a Joe story because there's too many of them. But I'm gonna preach at you a little bit. There are several times me and Joe didn't see eye to eye, and we were really close, and we knew how to hurt each other really bad. and sometimes we did. And I'm thankful that the times we did, we got over it and buried that shit. And just gotta realize that all those things don't matter. You know, somebody messed you up, wrecked your car, took $40, whatever, and they're friends of yours. You need to take care of that shit right now, because you might not have a chance tomorrow. And let's all remember here in the next few weeks, because today's gonna be rough, but it's gonna be rough for a while. But let's not dwell in misery that Joe's gone, but let's rejoice that he was here with us. And the next time you're at some lame party or some boring meeting and you don't know what to do, I always try to remember this because I saw it on the back of a church bus. WWJD. What would Joe do?
We know it, you.
I got a quick one. Anybody know how much Joe liked DeWalt tools? One time out in the shed, I go out in the shed to get something, and there on the table there's like a red plastic case thing, and he's spray painting it yellow because he couldn't stand that it wasn't a DeWalt.
So the first time I ever met Joe Rio, we fought, and I ended up puking in a toilet with Joe giving me really horrible advice to drink water for about an hour, and I hated him. I really hated him. Like, he could bring out the worst and the best in me, and I hope in a lot of you. And you know, like this whole last week, I've learned something. You know, I saw Joe's intensity, and I just took it at face value. I underestimated what a complex individual he was, and his love for his friends, and in his pain. And Joe, I'm gonna hold you in my heart and love you forever. Thank you.
So Joe's kind of always been in my atmosphere a little bit. I didn't hang out, wasn't best friends, but I knew him. I always thought he had 9 lives. I always heard about the stories. Drugged by a car, falling off a house. And my wife had brain surgery, and we had this party at the pool. And I didn't, you know, Joe wasn't not around for that. I invited friends and family. And we're all there doing this thing, and I look over and fucking Joe Rio's sitting inside the College Hill pool. And I looked at him, I said, fucking Joe Rio? I said, I think that's Joe Rio. And he's sitting right by the no smoking sign inside the pool smoking a cigarette. He just was always, he was always there when I needed him to be there. I've said this on Facebook, he's always there when I needed him to be there. At the flea market, I'd see Joe. Or at the art and book fair, I'd see Joe. We're like in some Splurge magazine, hugging each other, and he'd give me a hug if I needed to. So, you know, it's kind of a hole for me too. We didn't go skating or hang out under bridges, but he played with some of my best friends. And so I love him too.
last time I saw Joe, he slammed my door into my ankle. At McGinnis's place, wine glass rooms. And I had to have Les tell me after he passed that that's what happened. Buy the ticket, take a ride.
Okay, I hate talking in front of people. It's really weird. You suck. But I always met Joe like at random skate stuff, and I'd always be like, "Oh, dude, you're hella cool." And then one day I walked outside of my apartment, and he was walking out of his, and I was like, "Dude, I live right next to you." So we were like super cool after that, and he would always take me to the courtyard and be like, we'd just sit there and drink beers, and he'd talk to me about conspiracy theories and like Shriners and shit. And I was always like, dude, you were blowing my mind. Like, it was so cool. But really, the one thing that I'll always remember and miss from that fool is like, he would always call me Cooley. Every time I'd see him, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, what up, Cooley?" Like, and then I started calling him Cooley. And I'd just be like, "Yeah, dude, fucking Coolies on Coolies, man." And then, I don't know, he's just a shit. And only Joe and Bob Bergquist can wear yellow sunglasses.
Kelly, I just want you to know that Joe and I become family. You were family late in life. You're the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah. Amen.
You made life right. Bean, you were the love of his life. He called you Bean, and he loved you so much. I love Joe, and I wish I had more of Joe.
Joe Rio.
If I can get my mother-in-law's phone to work right here. This is one of the last texts he sent to her. And he said, "Man, I hope Mueller dry fucks Trump with the pineapple." Oh shit, that wasn't for you. I sent that to the wrong person. Sorry, Grandpa. And I think he sent it to the right person, because she agrees wholeheartedly. And there's no other way that it would have got read up here tonight. I miss you, Joe, already.
I didn't know Joe for very long. I met him this year. I met him at the ICE protest that he showed up at the corner of Central and Woodlawn. Joe taught me two things. One, show up for the people that need you, and show up with beer. He's the only person that ever was able to ask me if I needed to shave my face and still made me feel like the person that I am. Because that was just him. Joe met people where they needed to be met. And it didn't matter how long he knew you, and it didn't matter where you were coming from. Joe did what he could to make you feel important in the time that he had you. And I hung out with him 3 times in person, and that man has changed my life. And that's Joe.
It smells like dirt bags up in here.
Michael, want to strum us? Somebody else wants to go.
Here for emotional support because I'm a mess. But Joe and I were dating. Early on when we were dating, we were sitting out in the chicken coop on my beautiful green wool couch. Super vintage, hot couch that I adored. And I somehow, like, gesticulating, knocked his drink out of his hand, his beer. And he takes this hand and just grabs it out of the air while turning it upright. While he takes his t-shirt and he stretches it out and catches every single drop of beer that was spraying on my couch. It's like, oh, my boyfriend is so cool. I was crazy about it. He's a ninja.
I know it is up. I know I was already up here, but like I have two more, and they're really quick, and they're about this face. First one, on the day I was born. The doctor goes, "Do you want to cut the umbilical cord?" My dad goes, "Hell yeah!" So he takes the scissors and he cuts it, and he goes, "Can I have these?" And the doctor goes, "No," and he goes, Number two, Kelly was in this one. We were walking down the Douglas Street. I don't know where we were going, probably to go to Quick Trip to get some smokes or whatever. And this douchebag in a car comes out in front of us, so close, and Dad goes, right in this mirror, and I swear to God, this dude shit himself. He was like the fastest I've ever seen somebody accelerate their car away, because he just looked right in the mirror of his car and he went, "You just almost ran over my wife and child. I will eat your organs." That's it. Your turn, Michael.
James. Hey, I want to read something that Mike James wrote. Just because it kind of encapsulates everything. He says, "Joe always had a way of making me feel like the coolest motherfucker in the room. He had a huge heart, but it carried a lot of pain. He never tried to hide it though. He carried it out front like a badge of honor, like his demons might be purified by sunlight. It's easy to think we could have saved him if we'd just shined a little brighter. But I know one thing at least. I never have to worry that he didn't know how I felt about him. Every talk we ever had ended with, 'I fucking love you, brother.' Right on, Joe. Rio, I fucking love you, brother."